Hi guys, welcome back to K-pop Talks. Today we're doing the weekly K-pop recap of May 2023. This will be the last week of the month. Overall, I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought there was a lot of different styles of music, a lot of different, uh, you know, genres, a lot of different sounds and styles that we got, the chance to listen to and enjoy. And let's get right into it because we have a little bit of music to talk about. No crazy numbers, but there's substantial things to talk about here. So first we have newly debuted hype group, Boys Next Door with Who. Honestly, for a debut, it's pretty good. I think this is their debut, if I'm not mistaken, and it's one of the two singles they released. It's pretty solid. I mean, I like the fact that they're at least true to their names and they have that young and youthful vibe that I think hype really needs. So the song is simple, straight to the point, fun. I don't think there's much really to complain about. I think what they were supposed to do as a debut they did, and I think they took it home pretty simply without necessarily having to do too much, because sometimes that happens, right? You want to sometimes companies tend to overdo the debut. You look with MX, for example, it's a great example of that, right? So I'm happy that hype is learning from mistakes of some of the other people around. They're trying to do a better job in that sense. But in general, hype, you have to give them credit. Debuts, they always get them right 100 times, 100 times out of 100 actually. And next we have Yao Chen with Lonely. This is a surprise. I mean, I've never heard of Yao Chen, honestly. It's a solid song. I like the lyrics a lot. I like the vibe of it. His vocals are good. It's somewhat catchy, and I really like the sentimental and like kind of bittersweet vibe to it. I got a surprise. Another artist that I learned this year exists in Korea, and seems to have a lot of fans as well, which surprised me. And maybe somebody that I don't know was super popular and somehow I can't recognize him, but I can't really tell who he is in that sense. But the song is good, the lyrics are meaningful, they make sense for a full English song, it's nice to see, and yeah, it's pretty good overall. I liked it. Next we have Card with Iki. After a little bit, they're back. This song is pretty fun. I think it's Card in every way. The chorus, the hard-hitting production, Big Matthew, my boy, brings, a pretty explicit verse, but I think it's good. Everybody does a great job. The music video is, I think, way more interesting than other Card music videos in recent memory, where they were more like showcases of like their dances. These tend to at least tell a story, which is cool. And yeah, I mean, I liked it. I think it did what it's supposed to do. It's not my favorite of their stuff, but it does what it's supposed to do well, I think. Next we have collaboration, Mighty Mouth featuring Eunha with Slam Dunk. Overall, I've enjoyed it. It has a really old school vibe to it. It sounds like a, even a 2000 collaboration between an idol and a rapper. Not in a negative way. I think it's fun. It's fresh to listen to. It's different, definitely, than when most of the things you hear right now. Eunha brings good vocals. The guys are fun to listen to. The chorus is very, very catchy. It's classic K-pop in every aspect of it. I mean, when I think of that chorus, I think of K-pop specifically. So I loved it. It's not necessarily something for everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if people don't love it as much as I do, but I think it's quality. I think it's a really fun song overall. And next, J Park featuring Zion T with Candy. First and foremost, I'm happy that Zion T is not actually dead. He's alive and still has that edge to him, still has that amazing style of singing that really made him really popular early on in his career. The song is fun, for being more of a pop song made by J Park. I think he did a good job, at least, at making it fun, bringing good vocals, being catchy. I like how J Park adopted that concept from Psy of having the very popular female idol in his group, in his video. So now it's Eunha from Oh My Girl, and I think it's a fun song overall. I can't really complain. J Park did a really good job, Zenti did a really good job, and the production team did a really good job, so there's not really much to complain in my opinion. It's a very quality song. And next we have Juani with Freedom. I mean, Juani, one of my favorite rappers in idol history, one of the best ones. It's a solid song. I truly think that if you listen to the EP as a whole, this is probably the weakest song of the album. I understand why they went with that. It showcased a different style of him, specifically since this album wants to be a little bit more mainstream in sound. and I think he does a good job at that. You know, they want to showcase more of his vocals and his vocal ability, but I feel like when you listen to the album, there's some really, really cool songs, specifically hip-hop songs, and I think he should have went with that, because that's who he is. You know, that's what he does best, and he already did an album 2 years ago, I think, that was very sentimental, that had something to say, that was great. It was an amazing listen, it had a lot of singing, but it was done really, really well. So overall, not my favorite track of the album, and in this batch, I think I can say this week to have been really, really good. It's, if not the worst, one of the worst songs I've heard. Next we have LESSERAFIM, one of the most fucked up names of a song ever. Hi, Psyche and Bluebeards wife. This is a very interesting song. I mean, it reminds me of that, like, a song that went viral on TikTok. If you hear the production, it really reminds me of that. So I don't know if this is a remix of any sort. I have no idea, but for a song, it's pretty good. I mean, it's a hard-hitting, fun song to listen to. I think LESSERAFIM, in that sense, for this generation, kind of mastered that concept. You know, they do it well enough where it's varied and it's fun to listen to every time in a different manner. Wish they brought a little bit more variety. I don't ask him to go completely, I don't know, like when 21 went completely R&B or soul. I'm not asking that, but I'm saying at least do something different, because I mean, LESSERAFIM at this point has been on for, you know, a year and a half, so you want them to bring that edginess of something new and different to their style. I think at least now, you know, you have no reason to not try it. Sorry, like the summer is very close, so you could try to do something different, you know, maybe shock the world and try different concepts. Overall, I enjoyed it. You know, it's a quality song. I said quality 1,000 times in this video, but they're all really enjoyable tracks to listen to, in my opinion, and this one is as well. Next we have HAON with Rose in the Heart. Really, really good song by HAON. I mean, I was really surprised. I mean, not because I think he's a bad artist. In fact, I think he's very good. But I also know he can be very... Oh, wait, let me turn this on, okay. Because there's a little bit, like... there's a lot of heat right now in this room. So hopefully, if I move it, you're not going to listen to it. But, you know, the basic idea is he's a very good artist, but he's also an artist that has been very, very inconsistent, I think, in terms of quality of output. And this doesn't mean, oh, from one album to the other. I'm talking like even inside of the album, from track to track, right? So to hear a song like this, to be very catchy, amazing vocals, really, really good production choice. It's cool to see Ash Island slowly but surely turn into one of the most interesting artists in Korea. And he did it by trial and error, which at the end of the day, it's the way you should do in art anyway. You know, specifically music. I mean, that's the only way to really, I think, eventually evolve and become a really good artist, in my opinion. Specifically if the issue is consistency, which was always his issue, in my opinion. And next we have Dreamcatcher with BONVOYAGE. Dreamcatcher, staple group, third generation group. It's a solid song. I mean, really, it's what do you expect from Dreamcatcher? Definitely more rock than their past outputs of the last 2 years. There's actual rock music you can hear. It's just that it's the same formula, it's the same way they approach the music, the chorus, the pre-chorus, the bridge, the rapping section. You know, there isn't an interest from them inherent, and I completely understand that, to do something different, to try at least inside of what you already do, to do something a little bit different. You know, I'm not asking you to change genre, but I'm asking you to, you know, bring an element of, at least I would say, of creativity in your art, you know. So yeah, it's a song that I would say showcase why I think Dreamcatcher is good, but also why they were never able to go to that next step. Because when you make the same style for, at this point, 5 years, people are gonna get tired of it. And by the way, I think they're doing well right now, don't get me wrong, but I wish they did more variety into their style, which is really, really cool. You know, I think a great example would be Baby Metal from Japan. If you know Baby Metal, you understand what I'm trying to say. Next we have Secret Number with DOXA. Unfortunately, this is probably the most forgettable song I've heard. Can't think of anything memorable about this that stuck with me. It's simple, does what it's supposed to do, but yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it because this month, but specifically this week, there's been so much good music that, you know, if this came out, let's say the last week of April or in April, I would have enjoyed it more because the quality there was a little bit more wobbly. But now, this month, the quality have been high through and through, and yeah, this is one of the worst listens as well. Next we have Giselle featuring GEMINI with Enemy, an amazing track. Holy shit, this track is incredible. From the vocals, the chorus, the lyrics, the feature. I'm slowly but surely becoming a Giselle fan. Obviously, GEMINI is really, really good as well if you don't know who he is, but go check him out. But yeah, it was a great song. It's one of the best R&B tracks of the year from Korea, 100%, pretty easily. Not really much to really argue there. So yeah, it does what it's supposed to do well. The feature is good. It's a, I wouldn't call it a perfect song for me, but I wouldn't call it objectively a perfect song, but for me it is a perfect song. If I would listen to R&B, this is what I would listen to. Next we have Cooing with Even So. I mean, I think it's a solid song from Cooing, honestly. I don't think there's really much to complain. I think it's does what it's supposed to do. This is what I expect from her. So yeah, it's overall nice to listen to. Next we have the song. I think the song is called Tsuma no Nanoko or Tsunako Nakomo or some shit like that. Okay, I'll check about it later. I forgot, but yeah, I mean, listen, I think song is finding his style. This rock, alternative rock type of thing, he's doing it well. He's doing it both in the Korean style and in the Japanese style. I think he's doing it actually successfully from an artistic standpoint. So I'm happy for him. Like I already talked about it through the months and even last year, Yesung has evolved into becoming, I think, a solid artist who's gonna have a very long career in the music industry, because this is the type of a normal like evolution you expect from a guy whose interest in the long run is becoming a staple in the music industry, somebody who can probably tour forever and have a career for the next 20 years. That's what I think, at least, you know, but we'll see. Time will only tell. Next we have UP6 with A Loser. This is a pretty good song from UP6. You know, UP6 singles have been very hit or miss for me. But honestly, this is a hit. I mean, it hits hard. The chorus is funny. It's fun. It's not funny. It's fun. It's catchy as hell. Production works. The vocals are fine. So overall, for an UP6 songs, considering what you can get from them, I think they did a really good job. So, you know, at this point, I don't have crazy expectations from them. They've been around for some time. You know, they're comfortable where they are, rightfully so. They're very successful people in their rights, in their own right. But, you know, this is a very good song, I think, from them. And I don't know if they released an album or not, but I'll definitely have to check it out. Next, we have Wonstein with another release with Cool. Another really good song by Wonstein, who's gearing himself up for his next his album drop, 100%. I love it. I love everything about it. Honestly, the lyrics, the flows, his voice, his cadence, the way his attitude on the track, and obviously the production is also really, really good. So Wonstein, slowly but surely, he's becoming one of the most consistent rappers. He was already an amazing vocalist, and people maybe know him more for that, specifically with the song he ended up doing with Lehigh last year, which was a huge hit. So I expect him to really, and he has also his own hits, by the way. I'm not trying to diminish him as an artist, but you know, you get more popular when you work with popular idols. I mean, everybody knows that. But yeah, I mean, he's fantastic, and I definitely recommend it. It's one of the best hip hop songs I've heard all year. But you know, this is not surprise considering he is one of the best hip hop artists in Korea. So next we have Sik-kX and HAON featuring Sik-kX and HAON with Crash Mercedes. I mean, Sik-kX and HAON right now are in the same label. HAON left Higher Music. Not surprised. I mean, he was active early on, then he completely stopped making music. That's probably something obviously that Higher Music does not want to, since I'm pretty sure you get paid a lot of money to be under them. So they said, you know, fuck you, just go. And he's with his friend right now, and this is a solid song, I think. The production is fire, I think. The lyrics are solid. They're obviously, they have the attitude and the flows. But I'm definitely interested to see if they're gonna do a collaboration project, because they released at least a couple of songs together like this. So it'll be interesting to see if then they have any interest to do an entire project together. You know, like Chilling Homies did and stuff like that. I'm curious to see whether. Next we have Cix with Save Me, Kill Me. Honestly, I think this is a pretty weak song by them. I mean, I'm not a fan. I can't say it's bad or anything. It's just that from Cix, I think they can always do more. I think they're one of the most talented and one of the best groups of their generation. I think they're better than Hype, and they're better than 80s. I think in terms of quality of music, they are better. But, you know, This release I was a little bit disappointed by. Again, I think partially is because the quality of the music has been so high from everybody, and there's been a resurgence in boy groups that this type of things start to look worse than what they really are. So again, it's not objectively a bad song, because I don't think Sik-kX is really capable of doing that. Their production team, their writing team, and the boys are very, very good at everything they do, I think. And while obviously there is a message through the music video and there is an intent of talking about something more, I don't think necessarily the music itself carries that same of intent as well as it could be, as well as it could, at least. And next we have Horizon with Lovey Dovey. I flamed these guys last month. Was it last month or 2 months ago? I don't remember. But this is a solid song. I think it's actually really fun. Surprisingly, this more boyish style of music works well for them. The production is solid. The vocals are good. Definitely not the biggest fan of like those choppy pep. I don't like that as much, but you know, it's a solid song from them. Definitely better than the stuff they were doing before. But at the same time, respect, because MLD had no issue of like doing a completely 180 on who they were and make them do something completely different. You know, a lot of companies would be scared of doing that. So give credit at least from MLD to do that, since they never done that with fucking what they were called, their more popular group right now. I'm blanking. What they're called? Not Dreamcatcher. Momoland. They had Momoland and they made them make the same fucking song for like 3 years straight for no reason. So I'm happy that at least with this group they're trying to do something a little bit different, and hopefully that leads them to success. Because I mean, it's not like they have no talent. It's just that I think a lot of times companies tend to do a lot of really bad decisions that end up hurting the career of their artists. And next we have Always Out in Sik-kX with Shawty Wanna Wait. So this is kind of the reason why I'm scared of this collaboration album if it ever comes out, because Shawty Wanna Wait is everything I hate from this style of music. Repetitive lyrics, really lazy vocals. There's every aspect of what I don't like is in there. So yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of this. I think this is the way worse than Crash Mercedes. Crash Mercedes at least had personality, was good, and had a lot of like, you know, flair to it and personality. You can't say the same about this, I think. Yeah, I mean, hopefully they don't get ingrained to this idea that this is what they have to do for an entire project if they end up doing a project together. So, you know, there's an element of scariness there, of like, I'm a little bit afraid to see what they're gonna do, but it is what it is. You know, they're boys, they're gonna do whatever they want, you know. And last but not least, we have Cold featuring RM with Don't Ever Say You Love Me. I mean, this song came out already a long time ago because obviously they released the album early. It's a good song, but it's nothing compared to the rest of the album. Again, it's gonna get the most streams, it's gonna get the most views on the YouTube video, but I don't think this song really represents how good the album is. I think this song is solid, and I think similar to Juhani's song, they're fine, but I don't think that's really what you're gonna get away from and thinking it's the best song on the album, unless you're a BTS fan, obviously. So everybody else who actually thinks that has a brain will probably prefer other songs than this, which again, it's a quality song. RM brings a really good feature, I think. They have a great chemistry. This is not the first time they collaborate, I think. I could be wrong. But I love to see RM support a lot of smaller artists, whether it's Cold, whether it's Balming Tiger. I know last year collaborated with another artist, and now I'm blanking. I think it was HAON or HAL or something like that, and he did the same thing. So he already has done this in the past, and I respect him for it, because he's the only real member who does it at all. You know, J-Hope I think did it a little bit, but apart from them, the other guys don't necessarily have a super interest in making music all the time, like RM. Suge as well doesn't really collaborate, but that's more about his personality. So yeah, I mean, I liked it. It's obviously a good song, but it's better stuff from the album. That was it. While I was editing the video, I realized I forgot to talk about something specifically, and it's the case for Sakurazaka 46 new single Start Over with Fujiyoshi Karin as the center. Honestly, it's a pretty good song. It follows the same exact style as Nagaredama. After a little bit of a change when they had Mori as the center, they did more of a ballad. They went back to what made them really, really good. And I mean, they've been always a consistent group, I think, both when they are now as Sakurazaka and both when they are now Sakurazaka and when they were Kpop in the past. Again, I don't think necessarily
that everybody will love this song. Personally, I think it's fantastic. I love the groove, I love the vocals, the jazzy elements in it. I really enjoy it. The vocals are good. Karin does a great job also in her vocal parts. I think they've improved a lot vocally as a group compared to even 2 years ago. They have a strong identity as a group. It's doing the numbers that it means even the fans are now really enjoying it. Personally, I like it a lot, and I wanted to add it because even though it's a J-pop song, you know, if maybe 3 people watch this video, they'll discover Sakura Zaka, and I think, you know, they'll not be disappointed.
And this was it for May 2023. A really good month, I think. It's one of those months that I think I'll look back on it, I'll be like, damn, really, the quality was there through and through, you know. And it started a little bit slow. Can't really get too mad about it, as I always say. You know, you can't ask too much, but, you know, you had aespa, which I really enjoyed with Spicy. Tama, obviously, Andrea's song. Obviously, you had aespa again. B2B released a solid song. LESSERAFIM, Bangyo Cook. You had Villain. You had Triple S with their new subunit called Crystal Eye. Heartbreak Crowd by Cold, which is way better than this song with RM featuring Lee Chan-young. It was fantastic. You had Revita, who's had, I think, a really interesting rebranding and a different change of style. Hopefully it's not forever. Milena released an amazing song. Extraordinary Hero keeps continuing their quality run with Good Enough. IMR's Bubble was very fun. Tempest Freak Show was very fun. Kraxi released another really good rap song called No Limit. Adya as a very fun song. Mirani as well keeps the streak of really good music, and I've listened to her album, which is also really good. So we talked about Ash Island, we talked about so many other artists. Moonchild can be up and down, but I enjoy their music. G-Idol was a disappointment, I think. 17 was a disappointment for me. Pasha, like I said, Juwani was a disappointment. CIX. So again, it's interesting. VNX was a disappointment for sure. So there's elements where ISO, obviously, with Saturdays was another amazing song. Really good drum and bass song that you don't really hear anymore. So again, I enjoyed it. Again, it's cool to listen to K-pop and feel like, damn, I'm really listening to a complex genre again. After a period of time from specifically 2018 to 2020, 2021, where it was 3 sounds and everybody was doing that. So cool to see the genre evolving, curiously but surely becoming, I think, a staple in quality of music in my life. And again, I love the fact that K-pop the last year and a half, I really fell in love with it again. So hopefully you'll fall in love with it too. Tomorrow I'll definitely record the best and the worst albums and the worst and worst singles, but I think today it's fine like this. Also have to study, I have other things to do, but overall I've enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed it as well. You enjoyed this video as well. Tell me what were your favorite songs from this week, out of the video or not out of the video, and see you in the next couple of days with the best and the worst songs and the best and the worst albums of May 2023. Thank you for watching and have a nice day, have a nice evening wherever the fuck you are in the world.